the Mercedes G-Class, or the Geländewagen. And when it was launched in 1979, it was truly ahead of its time. And during its launch, this is what was said about it. The G was noted as a technological masterpiece with the aerodynamic drag of the Vienna Holzberg Palace. It's definitely a 1979 vintage vehicle, and in fact it's incredible. They are still building this vehicle today and they've hardly changed it at all. This is the 461 series, this is the basic series. Wind-up windows, oh, they did do electric windows in some models. It still has paintwork showing around the doors. Its dashboard has not changed one iota since '79. And the G is, well, as a good all-rounder, I don't think it's the best. As an off-roader, there's nothing to touch it. The trouble is with this car is that you just can't find places difficult enough to drive through. It just does it. When the G-Class was released, it was compared with a Range Rover because it had very similar suspension to a Range Rover. But it is a completely different animal, especially now, obviously, with the Range Rover being top in the fashion stakes. The Geländewagen was always meant to be similar to like a Defender or the rugged Land Cruiser FJ series. It's a rugged, basic workhorse, and you can see it. Rear differential lock, hydraulic. It's a relic of the military designs that Sterpuch were involved in, and that's the front one, also hydraulic. Automatic gearbox, this one very, very well tuned to off-road use. The gear change is very, very rapid, which means it's a little rough on the road. Not seriously so, but it is. They haven't changed this since 1979. It is exactly the same. There are very, very few vehicles that have a reputation of the Geländewagen at climbing slopes. There's something unique about the Geländewagen's gearbox, and this is it. In an ordinary four-wheel drive, I have to stop before I put it in low range, not the Geländewagen. I can do it on the move. I'm driving along. This is what I do. Watch this. I go into neutral, put it into four-wheel drive, low range, bong, low range. I don't have to stop. Brilliant for showing off. This guy has no carpets, and for that I am very grateful. And this is why, after a long safari, you pull that up, you unclip that, and then you drain all the water that you've sprayed in to clean out the inside down the hole. When you've finished, you put it back. I love it. Oh, I can't get through this. I'm not a razor blade. Now let's see if the G-Wagen is at home on-road as it is off. As an all-rounder, the Geländewagen is a lovely vehicle, and I have owned one myself, and it's one of my favorite vehicles. Off-road, superb. On-road, you pay the price for such a good off-road performer, in that it's a little bit noisy. Most Geländewagens are a little bit underpowered. This one, the 290GD, I wouldn't say is underpowered, but it's certainly not overpowered. I can cruise at the speed limit, but it's a bit noisy, flat windscreen. What's lovely about it is that you can load it. You can really load this vehicle. It handles the load beautifully. For the kind of vehicle it is, its steering is also very precise. And the drawback comes when you're on the long haul, doing long stretches. It can be compared with vehicles like Land Rover Defender, a little bit noisy, firm suspension, but generally as an all-rounder, it's a magnificent piece of machinery.